The topic of today's podcast is perfectionism. I feel like as believers of Christ, most of us tend to struggle with perfectionism, so I feel called to speak on this topic. Myself included, I tend to be a perfectionist and an overthinker as well, which I have struggled with most of my life. I would like to start with the scripture Mark 10:18, where it says, "Why do you call me good? No one is good except God alone." Ultimately, this verse challenges humans' superficial understanding of goodness and it highlights God's unique standard of perfection. In simpler terms, God does not call us as believers to achieve perfection, but rather to pursue faithfulness, trust, and obedience. I think we sometimes just put that pressure on ourselves to have things like a certain way and to want to have things be perfect. And perfectionism can show up in many different areas of our lives: work, relationships, and even personal goals. In therapy, one way that I learned to face perfectionism is to allow myself to make mistakes. For example, in work, if I'm typing up an email and I make a mistake with the wording in the email, try not to correct myself with that email. Just send it and just let it be that. And just know, because it gives you that assurance that people make mistakes. We're humans, we're not perfect, we're going to make mistakes. But the most important thing is that we learn from our mistakes. And I think that's what God is most concerned about. My advice to someone struggling with perfectionism is to accept your flaws and to not stress about the small details.